president of NIIT USA, but what I do in my day job, which is running a company called Amrit, whose primary goal is to help American companies do business in India. And I'm going to extract for you some very exciting facts that present a very positive view of what is happening in the country where most of us were born. So, and I'm going to, it links in very well with my friend Dr. Jain's overall remarks, and I'm going to try and make it specific by example. So, do you know who is the largest maker of toothpaste tubes in the world? Okay. It's an Indian company called SL Propack. And SL Propack recently put in a plant in North Carolina to supply Procter & Gamble. Do you know that the first integrated steel mine, iron ore mine to steel manufacturing facility in about 50 years that is coming up in the state of Minnesota is being created by an Indian company, SR Steel. Okay. These are Indian companies investing their money and a small amount of management talent to be able to create jobs here in America. This is not, a game where America is losing and India is winning, or vice versa. Both countries are winning. Okay. I'm going to focus the rest of my remarks, though, to talk about the exciting work that is happening on the campuses of the IITs in India, and some of the work that IIT alumni are doing at the national labs and other places. So all of us have heard about the great innovation of the Tata Nano, right? But shortly after that, there was another very innovative product that touches upon the wheels concept that came out from the Tata Group. Does anybody know what that is? The water filter, the world's lowest cost water filter, the Tata Swatch, okay? Now, it's not a product serving a new category. Water, as we know, is a problem. There are RO systems that have been sold in India to the middle class for decades. And a few years ago, Unilever thought they had the magic solution, a low-cost water filter called Pureit, okay? And it did extremely well. Now, the Tata Swatch, okay, is lower cost than the Pureit. It uses nanotechnology, okay? And it was designed by Tata Chemicals. A lot of IIT engineers had a role in it. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but many of you might know that the vice chairman of Tata Chemicals is Gopalakrishnan, very well-known IIT Kharagpur alumnus. The head of the Tata Innovation Center is Murali Shastri, one of the world's foremost nanotechnologists based in Pune. He was hired out of the National Chemical Labs in Pune. There's a tremendous amount of good work that is happening. And while the attention keeps going to the consulting companies out of India, the Wipros, the TCSs, and the Infosys, and they're doing great work. But at the end of the day, they're selling man hours, person hours. Okay? They don't have the leverage of intellectual property. That is what made this country so successful, when you can own a piece of a patent or a technology, and then you can make very, very high multiples on it. Okay? That is soon going to start happening from Indian companies. The Tata Swatch is just one example. Much of the work I do for my clients is confidential, so I can't give you examples from there, but I can tell you that Clorox is one of our clients, and they are the owners of the Brita water filter technology in the US, and one of the first things we did as soon as the Swatch was released is to buy 3 copies of it and ship it to them, okay? Because we want them to understand here is a new competition for you coming from India, and it's going to play worldwide. We talked about Mahindra & Mahindra, and that is another example. A former General Motors engineer went back to run the Mahindra product development function, an IIT Kanpur alumnus named Pawan Goenka, and they designed and produced the the Mahindra Scorpio in record time. All the attention goes to Tata Motors. They're doing great work as well, but the Mahindra Scorpio is a great story in doing complete development from the ground up and producing a very successful automobile that has been a grand success in India. Okay, all of the design was Indian. They did it faster, better, and cheaper than is being done in either Japan or the United States. Okay. In my work, I have visited in the last 2 years the campuses of IIT Madras, the campus of IIT Bombay, my own alma mater, IIT Kanpur, and IIT Delhi. And as fellow alumni, we are always very critical about all the things that are wrong there, okay? And this is not the time and place to talk about that. What I have found is that at each of those campuses, there are brilliant professors who have gone back after Western education or getting their PhDs within India and have gone back to the campus to teach and to do research, and many of them, despite challenges, are doing world-class research and producing papers that are far better, I think, than when I was a student on the campus of IIT Kanpur. At that time, I remember in my 4th year, I went and looked at the citation index to see which of my faculty had written a paper that was cited there, and I found one example. Professor M.M. Orai had written one paper, and that was pretty much it. That's not the case anymore today. And I think we need to celebrate that, we need to recognize that, and we need to encourage more of that to happen. Now, how does this tie into business opportunities? I think all of us in our work, as we look at what our companies are doing, as we look at where our personal careers are taking us, I think we need to be open to what is happening at our alma maters and figure out a way as to how we can engage our companies or our own careers more vigorously and convert this into a high leverage kind of opportunity for the people of India and for our own companies. I'm going to stop there, and I'll be happy to take questions later.
Thank you, Gunjan. Now I'd like to invite Anil.